Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Epictetus. What if I told you that sometimes the strongest thing you can do in a relationship is not to fight harder, but to walk away? It's a truth many men overlook, caught up in emotions, attachment, or the hope that things will change. But real strength, real wisdom, comes from knowing when to let go. In today's video, we're diving deep into the Stoic mindset and revealing 5 times you should walk away from a woman immediately. These aren't just random situations. They're powerful red flags that threaten your peace, your growth, and your very sense of self. If you ignore them, you risk losing more than just time. You lose your inner balance. So, whether you're stuck in a confusing dynamic or just want to protect your masculine energy, this video is your guide to clarity and confidence. Stick with me till the very end because the final point will completely change how you approach relationships and how you honor yourself. Ready to master the art of knowing when to stay and when to walk away? Let's dive in. Number 1, when she disrespects your boundaries. When a woman disrespects your boundaries, it's not just a small annoyance or something to brush off. It's a clear sign that your values and sense of self aren't being honored. Boundaries are the invisible lines that protect your peace, your dignity, and your well-being. They are the framework within which you live your life with integrity. If someone disregards those lines, they're essentially telling you that your limits don't matter. That's not something you should accept or tolerate. When you allow your boundaries to be crossed, you start losing the respect you have for yourself, and inevitably, others will sense that too. You need to understand something fundamental. Your boundaries are non-negotiable. They are a reflection of who you are and what you stand for. Said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. This strength includes knowing where you draw the line and having the courage to enforce it. If someone is dismissive or outright disrespectful toward those lines, it's a red flag that should never be ignored. Walking away isn't a sign of weakness or giving up. It's a powerful act of self-respect and self-preservation. Now, enforcing boundaries doesn't mean being harsh or unkind. It means being clear, consistent, and firm. If you've told someone what you will and won't accept and they continue to cross those lines, you're faced with a choice. Do you continue to bend and break yourself for someone who doesn't respect you, or do you walk away and keep your integrity intact? The answer is simple but often difficult to act on. Walk away immediately. You owe it to yourself to be in relationships, whether romantic or otherwise, where your boundaries are honored and valued. This isn't just about protecting yourself from disrespect. It's about creating space for the kind of relationships you truly deserve. When you walk away from those who disrespect your boundaries, you're making room for connections that nourish your growth and peace. Seneca wisely reminded us that associate with people who are likely to improve you. If a woman disrespects your boundaries, she's not improving you. She's diminishing your sense of self. That's a situation you don't want to linger in. So how do you get better at recognizing and enforcing these boundaries? Start by knowing what your boundaries are. Take time to reflect on what behaviors, attitudes, and actions you will not tolerate. Write them down if you have to. This clarity is your armor. Next, practice communicating these boundaries calmly and assertively. When someone steps over the line, call it out immediately. Don't wait, don't excuse it, and definitely don't minimize it. You're training yourself to stand tall and command respect. Another powerful exercise is to build your inner fortress through daily self-reflection. Ask yourself, am I allowing this behavior because I value this person more than myself? Am I confusing kindness with weakness? Am I sacrificing my peace for temporary approval? These questions force you to confront any patterns of self-sabotage or people-pleasing. They help you reclaim your power. Remember, walking away is not about punishment or revenge. It's about protecting your soul. It's about honoring the quiet voice inside you that knows your worth and refuses to settle for less. When you walk away from someone who disrespects your boundaries, you're sending a clear message, not just to her but to yourself, that you are worthy of respect and dignity. You have the choice right now to set this standard, to stand firm in your values and refuse to be compromised. This is the essence of Stoic strength, the power to choose how you respond and who you allow into your life. Don't let anyone convince you that disrespect is acceptable or that you should tolerate being diminished. Your boundaries are sacred. Protect them fiercely and watch how your life transforms. The moment you say no to disrespect is the moment you say yes to yourself. That's not just self-care, it's a declaration of the man you are becoming. So commit today. Honor your boundaries, speak up, and walk away when they are disrespected. Your future self will thank you for it. Number 2, when she lacks emotional responsibility. When it comes to relationships, emotional responsibility isn't just a nice-to-have. It's a fundamental necessity. When you encounter a woman who lacks this quality, it's a clear signal for you to walk away immediately. Why? Because emotional responsibility means owning your feelings, your reactions, and your part in every situation. It's about maturity, self-awareness, and accountability. Without it, the relationship becomes a battlefield where blame is tossed around like a hot potato, and you end up carrying the weight of someone else's emotional chaos. You don't deserve that, and the Stoics would remind you that your time, your peace, and your energy are too valuable to waste in such turmoil. Emotional responsibility is about understanding that no one else is in charge of your feelings except you. When someone lacks this, they may constantly blame you, others, or circumstances for their unhappiness or frustration. It creates an exhausting loop of excuses and drama, draining your spirit and clouding your judgment. As said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. If the person you're with can't embrace this truth, it becomes impossible to build a healthy connection grounded in respect and mutual growth. Think about how often you've seen relationships crumble because one person refuses to take ownership of their emotions. It's like trying to hold a conversation where one side is deaf and blind. They can't see their role, and they don't hear your perspective. It leaves you frustrated, walking on eggshells, always second-guessing your actions. This is not the foundation for anything meaningful. You want someone who can look inward, who can pause before reacting, who can say, "I'm sorry, I messed up," or "I feel upset because of this, but I want to work through it." That level of emotional responsibility isn't just attractive, it's essential. You might wonder, what does it look like when a woman lacks emotional responsibility? It shows up as constant blaming, deflecting, refusing to communicate honestly, or turning every disagreement into a drama where she's the victim or the martyr. It's exhausting and it's toxic. You can't fix it because it's not your responsibility to carry someone else's emotional baggage. Your job is to be present, grounded, and authentic, not a therapist or a punching bag. The Stoics teach us to maintain our boundaries and protect our inner peace. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you stay in a relationship with someone emotionally irresponsible, you're constantly reacting to chaos, never able to find calm. This chaos chips away at your self-respect and your mental clarity. It's a slow erosion that you don't need to accept. Here's a practical exercise for you. Start paying attention to how emotions are handled in your interactions. When a conflict arises, notice if there's ownership or deflection. Are feelings expressed clearly and honestly, or are they masked by blame and denial? Reflect on how these patterns make you feel. Do they uplift you or drain you? This awareness will guide you to recognize when to stay and when to walk away. Walking away when emotional responsibility is absent isn't a failure. It's an act of self-respect and wisdom. It's choosing to preserve your peace and create space for healthier relationships. Remember Seneca's words: associate with people who are likely to improve you. That means being around those who take responsibility for their emotions and inspire you to do the same. So, if you find yourself entangled with someone who refuses to own their emotional world, don't hesitate. Take a step back. Protect your energy. Focus on cultivating your own emotional strength and clarity. When you embody emotional responsibility, you set the standard for what you expect and accept. And that standard will attract the kind of partner who honors you and your peace. You deserve a connection that lifts you up, not drags you down. Walking away from emotional irresponsibility is not just a choice. It's a powerful statement that you value yourself. Make that choice today. Your peace is non-negotiable. Number 3, when she consistently manipulates or lies. When a woman consistently manipulates or lies, it's one of those unmistakable red flags that you need to act on immediately. Not tomorrow, not after giving it some more time, but right now. This behavior cuts straight to the heart of trust, the very foundation of any meaningful relationship. Without trust, everything else crumbles. And when you find yourself facing manipulation and lies on a regular basis, it's a clear signal that walking away isn't just an option, it's a necessity. You owe it to yourself to refuse to be caught in a cycle that chips away at your self-respect and peace of mind. Think about what it means when someone manipulates you. They twist reality, bend your perceptions, and pull strings behind the scenes to get what they want. This is no accident or minor slip. It's a pattern that undermines your autonomy. When lies become a habit, they create a fog of confusion and doubt. You start second-guessing yourself, wondering if your feelings and instincts are valid. This is dangerous territory. The Stoics teach us that self-mastery and clarity come from seeing things as they truly are, not as they're distorted by others. When someone consistently lies or manipulates, they're stealing that clarity from you, clouding your judgment and stealing your power. You have to remember that your time, energy, and emotional well-being are precious resources. When you invest them in a person who erodes your trust through manipulation and deceit, you're giving away your power piece by piece. It's like watering a plant with poison. The growth you hoped for will never come. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. You can't control another person's dishonesty, but you can control your response. And the strongest, healthiest response is to walk away. Walking away doesn't mean you're weak or giving up on love. It means you're wise enough to protect your own soul. You are setting a boundary that says, I will not tolerate anything less than honesty and respect. It's an act of self-love and courage. And it's also an act of clarity because it frees you to seek connections that nourish and uplift rather than drain and confuse. Imagine the peace of mind you'll regain, the confidence you'll build when you refuse to settle for anything less than genuine integrity. Now, putting this into practice can be tough because manipulation is often subtle and lies can be tangled in half-truths and excuses. But here's a practical exercise. Start tuning into how you feel after interactions. Do you feel confused, anxious, or diminished? Those feelings are your internal alarm system. Journal about these moments and be honest with yourself about what you observe. Another step is to practice saying no or walking away in small situations where you spot dishonesty or manipulation. It builds your muscle of boundary setting and helps you respond with calm and firmness rather than frustration or hurt. Don't wait until manipulation becomes so entrenched that you feel trapped. The Stoics remind us that we should act with reason and virtue before circumstances force our hand. Seneca said, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage." Walking away from someone who consistently lies or manipulates is one of those courageous acts. It's a declaration that your life and happiness matter, and that you're not willing to compromise your inner peace for the illusion of connection. So commit to recognizing this pattern early, trust your gut, and don't hesitate to remove yourself from situations that poison your mind and heart. Your future self will thank you. You're not just walking away from a toxic person, you're walking toward a stronger, wiser, and freer version of yourself. And that's a journey worth taking. Number 4, when she refuses to communicate honestly. When she refuses to communicate honestly, that's a clear and urgent sign. It's time to walk away. Honest communication is the foundation of any meaningful relationship. Without it, everything else starts to crumble. When you find yourself in a situation where the woman you're with shuts down, hides the truth, or twists words to avoid clarity, you're not just dealing with a minor inconvenience. You're facing a serious barrier to genuine connection and trust. It's tempting to try to push through it, to be patient and hopeful that things will improve. But the truth is, you owe it to yourself to recognize when honesty is simply not present and to act accordingly. You see, Stoicism teaches us that we should not waste our energy on things beyond our control. You can't force someone to be honest with you. You can't control how open or vulnerable she chooses to be. As Epictetus said, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. In this context, it means that you must embody honesty yourself. And when honesty is absent from the other side, continuing to invest your time and emotions is like building a house on sand. It's unstable and unreliable. When communication is dishonest, it breeds confusion, suspicion, and emotional turmoil. You start second-guessing everything. Was that a lie? What's really going on beneath the surface? This constant guessing game drains your mental energy and keeps you in a state of unrest. That's not a relationship. That's a trap. You deserve clarity and respect, and if she refuses to give you that, it's a reflection not of your worth but of her unwillingness to engage genuinely. It's important to understand that refusing honest communication often signals deeper issues: fear, insecurity, manipulation, or simply a lack of respect for you and the relationship. You cannot fix this by being more persuasive or more patient. In fact, trying to coax honesty out of someone who isn't willing to be honest sets a dangerous precedent where your boundaries get trampled. You teach people how to treat you by what you accept. So accepting dishonesty teaches others that it's okay to keep you in the dark. This doesn't mean you should be harsh or reactive. Stoicism encourages calm and reasoned decisions. Instead of letting frustration and anger lead you to confrontations that go nowhere, use your reason. Reflect on the situation and your feelings. Ask yourself, is this relationship aligned with the kind of life I want? Is it based on trust and mutual respect? If the answer is no, then the path is clear. Walking away isn't about giving up or being defeated. It's about protecting your integrity and your peace of mind. Practically, start by observing patterns. If you notice repeated avoidance of direct questions, vague answers, or sudden silence when important topics arise, don't ignore these red flags. Address your concerns once clearly and calmly. If honesty still isn't forthcoming, don't fall into the trap of making excuses or rationalizing her behavior. Choose your self-respect over confusion. One powerful exercise to build your resolve is to journal your thoughts and feelings whenever you encounter dishonest communication. Write down exactly how it makes you feel, how it affects your trust, and what you want instead. This clarifies your internal landscape and strengthens your commitment to seek relationships based on truth. Remember Seneca's wisdom: associate with people who are likely to improve you. If someone's refusal to be honest is holding you back, it's time to move on. Ultimately, your time and emotional energy are precious. You deserve relationships where you can be your authentic self and receive the same authenticity in return. Don't settle for less. Walking away when honesty is absent is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of strength and self-respect. You're setting the standard for how you expect to be treated, and that's the true Stoic way. Number 5, when she undermines your values or goals. When someone starts to undermine your values or goals, it's more than just a red flag. It's a full-blown warning sign screaming at you to take a step back and seriously reconsider the path you're on with that person. Your values aren't just ideas you casually hold onto. They're the backbone of who you are. They guide your decisions, shape your character, and set the tone for your entire life. When a woman, or anyone for that matter, begins to chip away at those core principles, you have to recognize that's not just a clash of opinions. It's a fundamental incompatibility that threatens your very foundation. You owe it to yourself to protect that foundation fiercely. Think about it like this. If you allow someone to dismiss or belittle what matters most to you, you're effectively allowing them to erode your sense of self. And once that erosion starts, it's a slippery slope. Values and goals aren't flexible like fashion trends. They are the compass that directs your journey. If that compass is ignored or ridiculed, your direction becomes unclear. Reminded us that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. What colors are you allowing to seep in? Are you letting negativity and disrespect paint over the vision you have for your life? Walking away when someone undermines your values isn't about being stubborn or refusing to compromise. It's about self-respect and self-preservation. It's about understanding that your growth and peace of mind must come before trying to hold onto a relationship that drags you down or pulls you off course. This is the kind of clarity that Stoicism pushes you to embrace. The ability to differentiate what is within your control, your values, your goals, your reactions, and what is not, the opinions or behaviors of others. It might not be comfortable. It might challenge your patience or stir up doubt. But the discomfort you feel when standing firm is nothing compared to the long-term pain of losing yourself in a sea of disregard. This is why Stoic philosophy is so valuable. It teaches you to anchor yourself in your inner fortress, your own principles, no matter how turbulent the external world gets. Here's something practical you can do. Start by writing down your core values and goals. Be brutally honest with yourself. What are the non-negotiables in your life? What dreams or ambitions light a fire inside you? Once you have that list, reflect on how your current relationships align with these values. Are you being supported, uplifted, or at least respected for who you are and what you strive for? If not, that's a sign that you need to reconsider who you're investing your time and energy in. Practice this habit of self-assessment regularly. When you catch yourself tolerating behavior that diminishes your goals or makes you second-guess your values, pause. Ask yourself, am I honoring my true self here? Or am I compromising in a way that will cost me peace and progress? The answers to these questions will guide you. Remember Seneca's wisdom. No man was ever wise by chance. Wisdom comes from intentional choices, from refusing to settle for less than what fuels your purpose. Allowing someone to undermine your values isn't just about them. It's a betrayal of your own path. So take action. Set boundaries. Speak up for what you believe in. And when those boundaries are repeatedly crossed, don't hesitate to walk away. Walking away is not a sign of failure. It's a powerful act of self-love and courage. It's saying to yourself and the world, I will not sacrifice my essence for anyone's approval. You deserve relationships that strengthen you, that align with your vision, that encourage your growth. When you hold fast to your values and goals, you not only protect your own integrity but also attract the right people, those who honor and celebrate the real you. So commit to this inner strength. Guard it fiercely, because in doing so, you become unstoppable. Remember, true strength lies in knowing your worth and protecting your peace. Walking away isn't about giving up. It's about choosing yourself over unnecessary drama and toxicity. As the Stoics teach us, control what you can, accept what you cannot, and never compromise your inner tranquility for fleeting distractions. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more timeless wisdom that empowers your life and relationships. Drop a comment below with your thoughts. Have you ever had to walk away, and how did it change you? Stay strong, stay stoic, and remember, sometimes walking away is the bravest thing you can do. Until next time, keep mastering the art of living well. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. What if I told you that in just a few minutes each day, you could reshape your mind to handle stress, fear, and doubt like a true Stoic warrior? Imagine waking up each morning with an unshakable sense of calm, confidence, and clarity, no longer tossed around by the chaos of life or the opinions of others. It's not magic, it's mindset, and it can be trained. In this video, we're diving into 7 daily Stoic affirmations that don't just make you feel better temporarily. They rewire your brain for long-term mental strength, emotional control, and personal power. These aren't vague platitudes. Each affirmation is rooted in the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, proven over centuries to guide individuals toward mastery over their inner world. By the end of this video, you'll have a practical, actionable toolkit to start your day centered, resilient, and unstoppable. Stick with me until the very last affirmation, because the final one has a subtle twist that multiplies the power of all the others. Trust me, missing it would be like skipping the most potent part of your mental workout. Are you ready to take control of your mind and claim the power that's always been yours? Let's begin. Number 1, I control my thoughts, not external events. Let that settle in for a moment. Think about it. The world outside you is unpredictable, chaotic, and completely beyond your grasp. Traffic snarls, unexpected comments, global events, they'll keep happening whether you like it or not. The Stoics, like Epictetus, remind us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The power lies not in trying to bend the world to your will. It resists you anyway, but in mastering your mind. Your thoughts are yours, and no one can take them from you unless you willingly give them up. You have this incredible, untouchable domain inside your own head where you are the ruler. That's where your true power is. So how do you actually claim that power? Start by noticing the tiny moments when your mind wanders into frustration or worry. That inner commentary that says, "This shouldn't be happening," or "I can't handle this." Just pause. Recognize that thought for what it is, a thought, not a decree of reality. Imagine you're holding a feather. Thoughts are the wind. You can feel them, acknowledge them, but you don't have to let them blow your inner calm away. Every time you catch yourself reacting to external chaos, gently guide your attention back to what's within your control, your perception, your choices, your focus. Said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Feel that truth resonate. You don't have to bend the universe, you bend yourself. And in bending yourself wisely, you create resilience, clarity, and freedom. Here's a simple exercise you can practice daily. Take 5 minutes, sit quietly, and observe your thoughts as if you're a scientist studying a strange phenomenon. Don't judge, don't try to control yet. Just watch. Then slowly begin to ask, is this thought useful? Does it serve me or is it a distraction? Each thought that doesn't serve your purpose, visualize placing it in a small box and setting it aside. It's not gone forever, it's acknowledged, but it no longer dominates your mind. This builds mental discipline, a muscle you can strengthen day by day. You're training your mind to respond deliberately rather than react reflexively. You're learning that the world may toss storms your way, but inside, you can remain unshaken. Another layer to this is language. The words you speak to yourself frame your reality. Replace self-limiting phrases with affirmations. I control my mind. This moment is mine to choose. I decide how I respond. Say them aloud, whisper them under your breath, write them on sticky notes where you'll see them constantly. The repetition rewires your neural pathways, creating a mental environment that defaults to calm, control, and rational thinking rather than panic, blame, or fear. The Stoics called this the cultivation of the inner citadel, the idea that your mind can be an unassailable fortress. Every time you remind yourself of this, you reinforce the walls of that fortress, one brick at a time. You can take this further. When challenges arise, instead of reacting with "why me?" try telling yourself, I control my thoughts, I choose my response. Feel the power shift as soon as you internalize that mantra. There's a quiet thrill in knowing that, no matter how turbulent the world gets, your mind remains your sanctuary. You're the gardener, the observer, the sculptor of your inner world. And like any skilled gardener, it takes attention, patience, and consistent practice. Daily affirmations, mindful observation, and gentle self-correction aren't just exercises. They're your pathway to mastery. So start today. Commit to noticing when your mind drifts into reaction. Catch it, name it, redirect it. Remind yourself daily, I control my thoughts, not external events. Let it sink deep into your subconscious. Let it guide your choices, your moods, your entire approach to life. Over time, you'll notice a shift. The world may still be unpredictable, but you are no longer a puppet of circumstance. You are free. You are powerful. And all it takes is claiming ownership of the one thing that is eternally yours, your mind. Number 2, I embrace challenges as opportunities to grow stronger. Say that to yourself right now and let it sink in. Feel the words like a gentle but firm nudge, reminding you that every obstacle you encounter isn't a blockade, it's a gateway. The Stoics knew this well. Wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Think about that. Every difficulty you face isn't a punishment or a random annoyance. It's a teacher in disguise. When you encounter resistance, your first instinct might be to recoil, to avoid discomfort, to wish it away. That's natural. But if you pause, if you breathe, if you allow yourself a quiet moment of clarity, you'll see that the very challenge you fear is the instrument through which your strength is forged. Imagine your mind as a muscle. Muscles don't grow when they're comfortable. They grow when they're stretched, stressed, and pushed past their current limits. Your mental and emotional resilience works in the same way. Each challenge you face, the tension, the struggle, the uncertainty, is an opportunity for your inner self to expand. And here's the subtle shift. It's not about loving difficulty blindly. It's about recognizing that difficulty is inevitable and then deciding to meet it not with dread, but with curiosity and resolve. Epictetus reminded us, difficulties are things that show a person what they are. Every challenge, no matter how trivial or overwhelming it seems, is a mirror, reflecting your capacity, your patience, your courage. So how do you start embracing challenges instead of fearing them? First, you need to reframe your perspective. When a problem arises, ask yourself, how can this make me stronger? Turn the question around in your mind until it becomes a mantra. Let it settle like a seed that grows roots, anchoring you firmly in the present. Next, train yourself to approach discomfort intentionally. Small, daily exercises can make a huge difference. For example, deliberately sit with minor inconveniences, delays, discomfort, unexpected disruptions, and observe your reactions. Notice the tension in your body, the chatter in your mind, and then consciously choose to remain calm. Each time you do this, you're teaching yourself that challenges are not threats, they are invitations. Remember, Stoicism isn't about being numb to pain or avoiding emotion. It's about understanding your power over your response. You can't always control what happens, but you can control how you meet it. By embracing challenges as opportunities, you shift from being a passive participant in life to an active shaper of your own character. You start to see resistance not as an obstacle but as a pathway to mastery. And the more you practice this mindset, the more naturally it flows. You begin to feel a quiet confidence in the face of adversity, an inner certainty that you can navigate storms without losing your center. Finally, take action daily. Each morning, remind yourself, I embrace challenges as opportunities to grow stronger. Say it aloud. Let it echo in your mind. During the day, when discomfort appears, repeat it to yourself. Let it guide your breath, your posture, your decisions. Reflect in the evening on how you met challenges, what you learned, and how you might approach the next one with even more courage. Over time, this simple affirmation doesn't just become a phrase, it becomes a habit, a lens through which you view the world. And when you do this, when you consistently turn obstacles into opportunities, you don't just survive difficulties, you transform them into stepping stones for power, resilience, and a mind that remains calm and strong no matter what life throws your way. Number 3, I let go of what I cannot change. Imagine starting your day by whispering to yourself, I let go of what I cannot change. Those words carry more than a simple truth. They are a shield, a liberator, and a guide all at once. When you embrace this affirmation, you're not just speaking, it's a call to your mind, a gentle yet firm instruction that says, stop exhausting yourself on battles you can't win. Once reminded himself, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. That's the core of this affirmation. When you repeat it, you are telling yourself that your energy, your focus, your very attention should not be wasted on the uncontrollable. Think about the countless moments you tense up, fret, or spiral simply because something outside your reach goes against your expectations. It's exhausting. But here's the twist. Nothing outside your mind can truly harm you unless you allow it. Epictetus taught that it's not events themselves that disturb us, but the judgments we attach to them. So when you say, I let go of what I cannot change, you are retraining your mental filters. You're teaching your brain to stop reacting automatically, to pause, to breathe, to evaluate. It's like giving yourself a permanent backstage pass to peace. You start to notice the unnecessary tension slipping away, because your mind no longer clings to things that were never yours to hold. Now here, where you can take action. Each morning, before you even check your phone or open your eyes to the chaos outside, recite this affirmation aloud. Feel the syllables roll over your tongue. Imagine the invisible chains of worry loosening around your shoulders. Then, identify just one thing today that you have been trying to control but truly cannot. Visualize placing it in a box and letting it float away. Let it drift out of your mental reach. This simple exercise trains your mind like a muscle. It builds resilience and redirects your energy toward what truly matters. And don't stop there. Throughout your day, whenever you catch yourself gripping tightly onto an outcome, pause, take a breath and say to yourself, I let go of what I cannot change. It works like a mental reset button. Over time, this repetition rewires your thinking. You start to notice a shift, not immediately as a dramatic revelation, but as a subtle ease, a lightening of your mental load. You'll find yourself calmer in moments that used to trigger stress, more focused on what's actually within your influence. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." By letting go, you stop feeding the fear of imagined suffering. You reclaim your attention, your clarity, your power. To solidify this habit, try journaling for 5 minutes each evening. Reflect on moments where you fought against what couldn't be changed. Write down the tension, then write down how it felt when you consciously let it go. Notice the difference. This reflective practice is not just a memory exercise. It's a reinforcement of the choice you make to release. Your mind begins to associate surrender with strength, not weakness, because this is what the Stoics always knew. True power is in what you control, not what you chase in vain. So start today. Make it your mantra, your mental armor, your daily practice. Repeat it, live it, breathe it. Let go of what you cannot change and watch how your mind, once cluttered and reactive, begins to feel spacious and unshakable. You'll discover that the more you release, the more you gain. Not possessions, not outcomes, but the quiet, unstoppable power that comes from mastering yourself. This is the essence of Stoic freedom, and it starts with a single, deliberate choice: to let go. Number 4, I act with virtue, regardless of others' opinions. Imagine waking up each day with one clear mission: to act with virtue no matter what anyone else thinks. This isn't about showing off, proving a point, or earning someone else's approval. It's about anchoring yourself to something far more powerful: your own principles. Once said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Let that sink in for a moment. Acting with virtue is not negotiable. It's the compass that guides you through the fog of opinions, judgments, and distractions that constantly swirl around you. You can feel the difference the moment you stop caring about how others perceive you. There's a liberation in it, a sense of clarity that transforms how you move through the world. And it all starts with a daily commitment to yourself, a quiet promise whispered in the stillness: I act with virtue, regardless of others' opinions. To live by this affirmation, you need to internalize it, not just recite it. Each morning, look at yourself in the mirror and say it aloud, slowly, deliberately. Feel the weight of those words. Let them settle in your chest like armor made of integrity. Then, throughout your day, let them guide every choice. When faced with a situation where cutting corners or pleasing someone might seem easier, pause. Ask yourself, what is the virtuous action here? What does my highest self do in this moment? This small habit, repeated daily, rewires your brain. It strengthens the pathway to instinctive integrity, making virtue your default response rather than a conscious effort. Seneca reminded us, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." Acting with virtue isn't about wealth, recognition, or admiration. It's about building an internal fortress of character. And here's the secret: when you start choosing virtue over approval, something remarkable happens. You stop being a prisoner of external opinions. You begin to experience a quiet power that others can't take from you because it resides entirely within. You start noticing how often you've been swayed by fear of judgment, how many decisions you've made based on imagined criticism. Awareness is the first step toward freedom. Practical exercises can anchor this principle into your daily routine. Each evening, reflect on the choices you made that day. Did you act according to your values, or did you bend to someone else's expectations? Write down a few moments where you stood firm in virtue, no matter how uncomfortable it felt. This reflection isn't about guilt or judgment. It's about sharpening your moral compass. Another exercise is to anticipate challenges before they happen. Visualize the situations that will test your integrity and imagine yourself responding virtuously. This preemptive mental rehearsal strengthens your resolve and makes acting rightly under pressure more natural. Finally, remember that this isn't a one-time achievement. Virtue is a lifelong pursuit. You will falter, you will encounter people and pressures that tempt you to abandon your principles, and that's okay. The affirmation isn't about perfection, it's about relentless commitment. Repeat it in your mind when you feel uncertain. I act with virtue, regardless of others' opinions. Feel it. Let it sink into your decisions, your posture, your words, and even your silence. As Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By choosing virtue, you're not just reacting. You're shaping your inner world, strengthening your character, and stepping into a quiet, undeniable power that no opinion can ever diminish. Number 5, I remain calm in the face of adversity. Imagine for a moment that life is tossing challenges at you like waves against a cliff. The first instinct might be to flinch, to recoil, to feel that sudden surge of panic or frustration. But what if I told you there's another way? Reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. That strength isn't a distant concept. It's something you can cultivate every single day, moment by moment. Saying to yourself, I remain calm in the face of adversity, is more than words. It's a declaration of ownership over your inner world, a small, deliberate act of rebellion against chaos. You can start right now by noticing the tiny irritations, the small discomforts that brush against your patience daily. When you do, breathe. Pause. Remind yourself that these moments are your proving ground, not obstacles to your peace. Calmness doesn't mean passivity, it means presence. When you affirm, I remain calm in the face of adversity, you are setting an internal boundary that says, you may come at me, life, but I will not surrender my clarity, my reason, my power. This is where Stoicism becomes practical, not theoretical. You can practice this by visualizing a challenge before it arises. Imagine a situation that usually triggers stress or anger. See it in your mind's eye. Then, recite your affirmation. Feel how your body responds. Notice how the tension in your shoulders softens, how your mind starts to detach from the immediate drama. This isn't magic, it's rewiring your nervous system. Over time, this becomes a reflex, not a conscious effort. You start to act, not react. Seneca once said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. That's the truth you need to lean into. The calm you cultivate today doesn't just prepare you for tomorrow, it reshapes how you interpret every tiny storm in your life. Begin your day with the affirmation. Whisper it to yourself as you prepare for the world, as you stand in front of the mirror. When an unexpected twist hits, repeat it silently. I remain calm in the face of adversity. Let it anchor you, a mental lifeline amidst turmoil. Feel it settle into your chest, your stomach, your lungs. You're not denying discomfort, you're mastering your response to it. That distinction is everything. Here's a practical exercise to embed this habit deeply. Each evening, reflect on one moment in your day where you felt tension rising. Replay it in your mind, this time with your calmness firmly in place. Imagine handling it with complete composure, letting the waves crash while you remain grounded. Your brain is a pattern-seeking machine, and by replaying the scenario with calmness as the dominant response, you are telling it, this is the new default. Repeat this process daily. It's subtle, almost imperceptible at first, but over weeks, months even, you'll notice a shift. You'll begin to approach situations with clarity rather than reaction, with strategy rather than impulse. This affirmation is also an invitation to reclaim your personal freedom. You can't always control the external world, but you can control your posture toward it. You can choose the stillness within the storm, the unshakable poise that Stoics have revered for centuries. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Let that sink in. Let it guide your breath, your heartbeat, your thoughts. Each repetition of your affirmation is a brick laid in the fortress of your mind. And remember, calmness is contagious. The more you embody it, the more it radiates outward, subtly shaping interactions, creating a sphere of influence grounded in reason, not chaos. So start now. Take a deep breath. Whisper it, feel it, live it. Each time adversity knocks, answer with calm, not fear. Let the affirmation, "I remain calm in the face of adversity," be your shield, your mantra, your daily workout for the mind. You are not just surviving life's waves, you are learning to surf them with mastery, grace, and quiet power. Over time, that calm becomes an inseparable part of you. And that, above all, is the Stoic strength that rewires your mind for power. Number 6, I focus on progress, not perfection. What if I told you that chasing perfection is one of the sneakiest ways we sabotage ourselves? Reminds us, Perfect action is impossible, but right action is always possible. Think about that for a moment. Perfection doesn't exist as a fixed destination. It's a mirage that shifts and slips away the moment you think you've reached it. Every time you set your sights on being flawless, you tie your sense of worth to something inherently unattainable. That's a trap. The Stoics didn't waste their energy on idealized outcomes. They focused on what they could do moment by moment, consistently, intentionally. You have the same choice. You can let the fear of being imperfect stop you, or you can pivot and embrace progress as your guiding star. You can start today. Shift your mindset to recognize that every small step, every incremental improvement is a victory. Each choice you make that aligns with your values, no matter how tiny, compounds. Epictetus teaches us, don't aim for what you can't control, aim for what you can. You can't control a perfect outcome, but you can control the effort you put in right now. So look at your day and identify one action, just one, that moves you closer to the version of yourself you want to become. Then do it. Repeat it tomorrow. Repeat it the day after. That's how progress builds. That's how your mind rewires itself. That's how power quietly grows inside you. Now here, where it gets practical, create your own micro-habits that honor progress over perfection. Start by setting mini goals that are achievable yet stretch your limits just enough to keep you engaged. Don't wait until you feel fully ready. Act now. Track the wins, no matter how small. Acknowledge the effort, the focus, the resilience you show each day. You'll start noticing that your sense of accomplishment is no longer hinged on being flawless. It's fueled by movement, by consistency, by showing up for yourself. That's a mindset shift that transforms frustration into motivation, hesitation into action, and fear into quiet confidence. Another way to anchor this mindset is through reflective affirmations. Each morning, repeat to yourself, I focus on progress, not perfection. Say it with intention. Say it as if it matters, because it does. Let it shape your choices. Let it guide your attention away from self-criticism and toward self-mastery. When a mistake happens, when you stumble or falter, don't berate yourself. Instead, pause, breathe, and ask, what can I learn from this? How can I improve next time? That's a Stoic approach, seeing challenges not as proof of failure but as opportunities for refinement. Over time, these small mental pivots rewire your brain. They train you to notice growth instead of shortcomings, action instead of hesitation, and resilience instead of regret. Finally, embrace the idea that progress is a rhythm, not a destination. It's not about doing everything perfectly or checking every box. It's about moving forward, however messy or uneven the journey may feel. Every time you commit to growth, every time you honor effort over idealized outcomes, you strengthen your mind, you build your character, and you cultivate an inner power that no external circumstance can shake. The beauty of this is that you are always in control of progress. It's yours to claim each day. So take action now, even if it's imperfect. Focus on the next step. Focus on the small victories. Focus on becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient with every breath. In doing so, you're not just moving forward, you're creating a life that thrives on mastery, not illusions of perfection. Number 7, I am the master of my mind and emotions. Say it to yourself now, slowly, letting each word sink in. Feel it resonate deep inside, because this isn't just a mantra, it's a declaration of freedom. Once reminded us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Think about that for a moment. Every thought that bubbles up, every surge of anger, every twinge of jealousy, it all starts in your mind. And here's the truth that Stoics understood long before us. If you don't take charge of what's inside, the world will take charge of you. Start noticing your inner dialogue. That quiet commentary that whispers doubts, critiques, fears. Hear it, but don't obey it blindly. When a negative thought arises, pause, breathe, Ask yourself, is this thought within my control? If it's not, release it. If it is, act with reason, not impulse. Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is not just philosophy, it's a practical tool. Every day, you can choose to respond with calm, clarity, and intentionality. Every day, you can remind yourself, I am the captain here. You might be thinking, but my emotions feel so strong they overwhelm me. That's okay. Strength doesn't come from denial, it comes from recognition and mastery. Observe the surge of frustration or sadness as if it were a wave, not a tsunami. Feel it fully, let it be, and then guide it. Label it. Say to yourself, this is anger, this is fear, this is impatience. They are not me. I am the master. Repetition builds habit. Your mind is like clay. With practice, you can shape it, mold it into resilience, into calm, into power. Take practical action right now. The next time irritation or anxiety creeps in, pause and breathe deliberately. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4. Notice the shift. It's subtle, but it's there. Each time you do this, you are reminding your mind of its true master, you. Another exercise is journaling. Each morning or evening, write down your emotional triggers, the ones that made you feel out of control. Reflect on them. Ask yourself, how could I have responded differently? How could I have guided my mind toward calm instead of chaos? This simple habit rewires your brain. It trains your mind to see itself as the decision maker, not the emotions. Remember, mastery isn't a destination, it's a daily choice. Seneca said, no man is free who is not master of himself. And here's the empowering part. Freedom is yours for the taking every single day. Each time you assert control over your mind, you build an unshakable fortress inside. Emotions will come, challenges will arrive, but none can dictate who you are. You are the gatekeeper. You decide which thoughts enter and which leave. You decide which feelings guide your actions and which fade away. So embrace this affirmation fully. Say it aloud. Whisper it when fear rises. Write it on sticky notes around your space. Let it infiltrate your consciousness until it becomes a reflex. I am the master of my mind and emotions. Because once you truly accept it, something incredible happens. You no longer react to the chaos around you. You stand firm, calm, and unyielding, like a lighthouse in a storm. And in that stillness, you find power, not through control over the world, but through mastery of yourself. You can start today, right now, with a breath, a thought, a choice. Reclaim your mind, reclaim your emotions. You are ready for this, and every day you practice, you grow stronger. And there you have it, 7 daily Stoic affirmations that can rewire your mind for real power, calm, and clarity. Remember, these aren't just words to repeat. They are tools to reshape your thoughts, guide your actions, and strengthen your inner fortress. The real transformation happens when you commit to them daily, letting them sink into your mind until they become instinct. If you take just one thing from this video, let it be this. Your mind is your most powerful ally or your greatest obstacle. These affirmations give you the power to master it. So, start today, repeat them, live them, and watch how your perspective and your life begins to shift. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to train your mind with practical Stoic wisdom. And if you're serious about stepping into your power, I've got a full series that dives even deeper into Stoic practices. Make sure to check it out next. Your journey to mastery starts now. Keep practicing, keep reflecting, and remember, a mind disciplined is a life unstoppable. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca. What if I told you that the true desires of women are often hidden beneath layers of silence, unspoken words, and subtle actions? You might think you understand them, but there's a powerful world beneath their behavior that most men completely miss. These hidden desires shape the way they interact, communicate, and connect, yet they rarely admit them out loud. Imagine being able to see beyond the obvious and decode those quiet signals with precision. Imagine how much deeper your connections could become, how much more magnetic your presence would feel, simply by tuning into what's actually being expressed, rather than what's said. In this video, we'll uncover the 7 hidden desires women won't admit but constantly reveal through their actions. Whether you're looking to strengthen your relationships, improve your dating game, or just understand women on a whole new level, this knowledge is a game changer. So stay with me until the very end, because the last point is the most eye-opening and will completely transform how you perceive and connect with the women in your life. Ready to unlock these secret desires? Let's dive in. Number 1 desire for emotional security. You want to understand a desire that often goes unspoken but is quietly powerful: the deep need for emotional security. It's not something that's shouted from the rooftops or plastered in headlines. Instead, it's subtle, woven into actions and choices, almost like a secret language. This desire is about more than just feeling safe. It's about wanting to know that when the world gets chaotic, you have a steady place to land, a sanctuary where your heart isn't in constant turmoil. Think about it. How often do you find yourself craving certainty, even when life feels unpredictable? This is what emotional security is. It's the invisible anchor that keeps the ship steady through the storm. You might wonder why this desire is often hidden. Part of it is because society hasn't always encouraged openness about vulnerability. It's easier sometimes to mask fears and needs with strength or indifference. But the truth is, emotional security is a universal human need, not a weakness. The Stoics knew this well, reminded us that our inner fortress must be unshakable, but building that fortress starts with recognizing what it is we truly need to protect and nourish within ourselves. Here, where you come in, recognizing this hidden desire in the people around you, especially women who may not always say it out loud, can transform your relationships. It's a call to action, urging you to become someone who doesn't just hear words but reads between the lines. When you respond with consistency, patience, and understanding, you're offering more than comfort. You're giving the priceless gift of trust. And trust is the foundation of emotional security. But this isn't just about how you relate to others. You must also cultivate this security within yourself. You have to train your mind to be a calm harbor, a place where storms don't cause panic but are met with steady resolve. Here's a simple exercise. Whenever anxiety or doubt creeps in, pause and breathe deeply. Remind yourself, I am the master of my inner world. This isn't empty bravado. It's the Stoic discipline of control over your thoughts and emotions. Each moment you choose calm over chaos, you build resilience, not just for yourself, but for everyone who looks to you for stability. You see, emotional security doesn't mean avoiding pain or difficulty. It means being steady enough to face life's unpredictability without losing yourself. It's about showing up even when uncertainty looms, not because you're fearless, but because you're anchored. And when you embody this, it ripples outward, encouraging those around you to feel safe enough to lower their walls. This is the silent power that shifts the dynamic in any relationship, turning it from fragile to unbreakable. So here's the challenge. Start today by noticing the small signs of this hidden desire in those around you. Listen closely to the actions that speak louder than words. Be the one who offers a steady presence without judgment. And at the same time, turn inward to build your own emotional fortress. Practice patience with yourself, especially when emotions run high. The path to emotional security isn't a quick fix, it's a lifelong journey. But every step you take strengthens the ground beneath your feet. Remember the wisdom of Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your reaction can be a beacon of security, a signal that no matter what happens, there's a calm center to return to. When you embrace this, you don't just satisfy a hidden desire, you become a living example of strength through serenity. And that's a power that quietly changes everything. Number 2, craving genuine appreciation. You ever notice how sometimes words like thank you or a simple nod of recognition carry so much weight, almost like a secret code that unlocks something deeper? That's because beneath the surface, craving genuine appreciation is one of those hidden desires many women won't openly admit, but you can clearly see it in their actions if you pay attention. It's not about empty compliments or superficial praise. It's about being truly seen, valued, and understood for who they are and what they bring into the world. This craving for authentic appreciation isn't just a fleeting want. It's a powerful force that fuels confidence and connection in a way that nothing else quite matches. When you think about it, how often do you pause and genuinely appreciate the people around you? Not just a quick nice job or a polite smile, but real heartfelt acknowledgement. This kind of appreciation acts like a balm. It soothes, strengthens, and encourages growth. For the women in your life, being genuinely appreciated means you're recognizing their efforts, their struggles, and the little victories that often go unnoticed. You're telling them, I see you, I see your worth. And that is profoundly empowering. Stoicism teaches us the value of recognizing what's within our control, and expressing sincere appreciation is one of those simple yet powerful things you can control. Said, when you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Taking that mindset, try shifting your daily focus toward noticing and appreciating the unique qualities and efforts of the women around you. It's not about flattery or exaggeration. It's about mindfulness. It's about honoring their existence in a way that feels real. So how can you start? First, listen actively. When a woman shares something, even something small, acknowledge it with intention. Don't just wait for your turn to speak or offer a generic response. Instead, make it clear you're present. This simple act tells her she matters. Then make it a habit to express your appreciation through actions as well as words. A handwritten note, a thoughtful gesture, or even remembering something important she mentioned can speak volumes. These aren't grand gestures, they're quiet affirmations that say, I notice you, I value you. Now here's the thing, appreciation can't be faked. Women can tell when you're being genuine and when you're just ticking a box. So this isn't about piling on compliments, but about cultivating a mindset of gratitude and awareness. Begin by reflecting on what you genuinely appreciate. It might be her resilience, her creativity, or simply the way she lights up a room. When you tap into these sincere feelings, expressing them becomes natural and impactful. You might think, is this really that important? The answer is yes. When someone feels genuinely appreciated, it sparks something deep inside, a sense of belonging, motivation, and emotional safety. It's like planting seeds of trust and respect that grow into stronger relationships. And in the words of Epictetus, he who is not grateful for little will not be grateful for much. So start small, start now. Try this exercise. Each day, make it a point to recognize one thing about a woman in your life that you genuinely appreciate. It could be her kindness, her humor, or her dedication to something meaningful. Say it aloud or write it down. Feel the gratitude as you do it. This practice doesn't just uplift her, it shifts your own perspective toward positivity and connection. In the end, craving genuine appreciation isn't about seeking validation. It's about creating a space where authenticity and respect thrive. It's about breaking through the noise of daily life and tuning into what really matters. When you become someone who consistently offers this kind of appreciation, you're not only meeting a hidden desire, you're nurturing a powerful bond that transforms relationships and enriches lives. So step up, notice more, appreciate deeply, and watch how it changes everything. Because when you give true appreciation, you don't just change her world, you transform yours as well. Number 3, wanting to feel prioritized. You want to understand what it really means when she shows, through little things, that she wants to be prioritized. It's not always spelled out loud, and sometimes it's wrapped up in subtle signals, almost hidden. But here's the truth. Wanting to feel prioritized isn't just about being number one on a list or grabbing the spotlight. It's deeper. It's about feeling seen, valued, and known in a way that cuts through the noise of everyday life. When someone is truly important to you, your attention naturally flows their way, like water finding the path of least resistance. And when that attention flows back, it creates a powerful connection. You might think prioritizing is just about grand gestures or flashy declarations, but it's really in the small, consistent acts where this desire lives. It's in the texts answered without delay, the plans made with her in mind, and the moments when distractions fade because she matters most in that instant. This isn't about control or demanding. It's about the quiet comfort of knowing that in the busy chaos, she's the priority. And that's a human need, to feel central, to feel chosen, to feel important. How often do you pause to ask yourself if you're making her feel that way? Not just by words, but by your actions. Said, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This applies perfectly here. Don't just talk about caring or prioritizing. Show it. Be that steady presence who makes her feel like the most important person in the room, even if no one else is paying attention. Because true power in relationships comes from this kind of consistency, this unshakable commitment to making her feel seen. It's easy to get caught up in your own world, your work, your worries, your schedule. But remember, the desire to be prioritized is a silent call for your awareness. When you choose to answer, it changes everything. You don't have to rearrange your entire life, but you do need to carve out moments that say, without words, you matter. It can be as simple as a genuine check-in, a thoughtful gesture, or just being fully present without distraction. The power of this is enormous. So here's a challenge for you. Start noticing the small ways you can make her feel prioritized. Practice this daily. Maybe it's sending a message that's just for her in the middle of your busy day. Maybe it's slowing down when she's talking, not because you have to, but because you want to. These actions build a bridge of trust and belonging that words alone can never fully create. The Stoics teach us about presence and intention, living fully in the moment and directing your energy toward what truly matters. Prioritizing someone isn't just about them. It's about you stepping up, showing discipline in your attention, and cultivating a relationship where both of you feel deeply valued. Remember, feeling prioritized is a fundamental human desire that transcends gender. It's about connection, respect, and love in its most powerful form. When you make the choice to meet that desire, you're not just changing how she feels, you're transforming how you both engage with the world and with each other. Start now. Be the person who doesn't just hear what's unspoken but acts on it. The result? A bond strengthened by presence, care, and an unbreakable sense of belonging. You hold the power to shift this dynamic with small, intentional moves. Use it. Number 4, need for deep, meaningful connection. You want to understand the need for deep, meaningful connection, the kind of bond that goes beyond surface chatter and quick smiles. This isn't about casual small talk or fleeting encounters. It's about that profound sense of being seen, heard, and understood at your core. Women often won't say this outright, but their actions reveal it loud and clear. They crave connection that feels authentic, rich, and lasting, because deep inside, we all long for a space where we don't have to hide or pretend. Think about it. Connection fuels your soul. Without it, you drift, lost in a sea of noise and distractions, disconnected from what truly matters. You might be wondering, how do you tap into this? How do you foster such depth without the fear of vulnerability holding you back? Here's the thing, true connection demands courage. Once said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, the very fears that make you hesitate are what you must face head-on to grow stronger and closer to others. So, instead of retreating when things get real, lean in. Practice active listening. Don't just wait for your turn to speak. Really hear what's being said. Reflect on it. Ask questions that show you care, that you want to understand more than just the words. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect or have all the answers. It means being present. Be willing to share your own thoughts and feelings, even if they feel raw or uncertain. That vulnerability invites the same openness from the other person, breaking down walls and creating space for genuine connection. Remember, Stoicism teaches us that control lies within our own minds and reactions. You can't force someone else to open up, but you can control how you show up, with kindness, patience, and authenticity. To build this habit, start small. Next time you're with someone, resist distractions, put your phone away, make eye contact, and listen deeply. Notice the subtle cues beyond words, the tone, the body language, the pauses. These often say more than what's spoken. Then practice sharing a little more about yourself, not with the goal of impressing, but of truly connecting. You'll find that these moments, though seemingly small, accumulate into something powerful. It's easy to get caught in the trap of surface-level interactions because they feel safe. But ask yourself, does that really satisfy you? Does it fill the void? The answer is usually no. You deserve connections that challenge you, inspire you, and help you grow. So take the risk. Be the person who reaches out not just with words but with genuine presence. The power of this move is silent but transformative. It shifts the energy and invites others to do the same. Remember, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality, as Seneca said. Don't let fear or doubt create walls between you and the meaningful connections you seek. Step through that fear with intention every day, and you'll start to see how your relationships deepen in ways you never thought possible. You have the power to create the connection you crave. It begins with your willingness to be real, open, and present. Start now. Shift your focus from superficial to significant, and watch how your world quietly but profoundly changes. Number 5, desire for consistent honesty. You want to really get what it means when a woman shows a deep, often silent yearning for honesty. Not just the casual kind, but the consistent, unwavering truth. It's a desire that's easy to overlook because it's not always spoken out loud, yet it echoes through her actions, her reactions, and the subtle ways she measures your character. When you think about honesty here, don't just picture the occasional confession or the blunt truth-telling that some people confuse with brutal honesty. This is different. It's about showing up every day with a commitment to transparency, to being real, to allowing no cracks for doubt to creep in. You see, honesty in this sense isn't a one-time event. It's a steady rhythm that builds trust, piece by piece. Think about what it means to someone who senses that words might bend or truths might stretch. There's a silent alarm that rings whenever inconsistency flickers, when actions don't match words, when promises float away like smoke, or when vagueness becomes the default answer. And when that alarm sounds, it's not just annoyance. It's a deep wound to the connection, a crack in the foundation of respect. What she's really seeking is the power of knowing that what you say today will hold true tomorrow, knowing that the person beside her isn't a mystery wrapped in shifting shadows, but a steady presence grounded in authenticity. You might wonder how to meet this without feeling like you're trapped under constant scrutiny or walking on eggshells. Here's the secret. Consistent honesty isn't about perfection. It's about cultivating a habit of truthfulness so natural and ingrained that it becomes part of who you are, rather than something you force or fret over. Reminds us, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. That's the essence of integrity. It's not just a rule, but a lifestyle. You don't have to dissect every sentence or analyze every motive. Instead, Build a practice where your words and your actions are aligned, where your intentions are clear, and where your communication invites clarity rather than confusion. Here's a challenge for you. Start small but commit daily. When you say you're going to do something, follow through. If you don't know something, don't pretend. If feelings get complicated, don't hide behind silence. Choose gentle honesty instead. The more you practice these simple acts, the more you will notice the shift, not just in how she responds, but in how you feel about yourself. You'll find that this isn't a burden but a liberation. When you free yourself from the tangled web of half-truths, you build a stronger, more resilient foundation that can weather storms. And here's another thing: honesty invites respect, and respect invites deeper connection. When she sees that you hold yourself accountable to the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, she can relax. She stops questioning and starts trusting. She stops doubting and starts believing in what you build together. That's a powerful place to be, not just for her, but for you too. You step into a role where your presence is reliable, where your word has weight, and where your connection isn't just based on fleeting emotions, but on steadfast values. So I want you to think of honesty not as a chore or a weapon, but as a gift. A gift you give every time you choose clarity over confusion, transparency over hiding, and truth over convenience. This is the quiet power that shifts dynamics. It's the undercurrent that moves relationships from fragile to formidable. And it all starts with you making a daily choice to be the man who doesn't just say honesty matters, but lives it in every small moment. Remember, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This Stoic wisdom isn't just philosophy, it's a call to action. Be that man. Be honest consistently and watch how everything changes. Number 6, longing for subtle acts of affection. You want to really understand what's beneath the surface when a woman longs for subtle acts of affection. This isn't about grand gestures or flashy displays. It's the quiet, almost invisible ways she craves to feel seen and cherished. These small moments carry immense weight, and if you can recognize them, you hold a key to something powerful: genuine connection. It's easy to overlook these nuances because they don't scream for attention. But as reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When you start to notice the little things, you're painting a new picture of intimacy, one built on attentiveness and care. Think about how often you rush through daily routines, barely touching on the emotional currents flowing beneath words and actions. You might hear a subtle sigh, catch a fleeting glance, or feel a gentle touch that lingers just a moment longer than necessary. These are the whispers of longing for affection, not demanding or desperate, but quietly hoping you'll respond with warmth. Here's the thing: affection in its subtle form is not about saying, "I love you" loudly. It's about saying it softly through actions that speak volumes. It's a brush of the hand as you pass by, a meaningful look when no one else is watching, a deliberate pause that shows you're fully present. Now, I want you to imagine what would happen if you start to tune into these delicate signals. What if you made it a habit to notice the tiny ways she reaches out for affection? Instead of waiting for a dramatic declaration, you step in with small, thoughtful gestures: a handwritten note left in a pocket, a warm cup of tea offered without being asked, or a simple touch on the shoulder when she's lost in thought. These aren't just random acts, they're investments in emotional currency. They tell her you're there, fully engaged, and that her feelings matter to you in the quietest, yet most profound ways. You might think this sounds too simple to create real change, but that's where you're wrong. As Seneca said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Don't let the complexity of love intimidate you. Affection doesn't need to be complicated. It needs to be consistent and genuine. So start small, pay attention, listen with your eyes and your heart. When you see her pull back, don't ignore it. Lean in gently with a soft word or a gentle touch that says, "I'm here." Here's a practical exercise for you. Take a day to observe without speaking, just watching the subtle ways she expresses what she needs. Notice the way she reacts when you pause to hold her gaze or when you reach for her hand in passing. Then, the next day, respond. Mirror her gestures in a way that feels natural but intentional. Over time, these small acts will build a language between you, one that doesn't rely on words but on shared feeling and understanding. This is where real power lies, in the quiet consistency that shows you care, without needing to shout it from the rooftops. You have the chance to transform how love is experienced between you by embracing the subtle and often overlooked. The power of these tiny gestures isn't just about her feeling loved. It's about you becoming someone who understands the depth in simplicity. And as Epictetus taught, don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. Meet her where she is, with the tenderness she's quietly craving, and watch how your connection deepens beyond what words can describe. So take this to heart and start seeing the invisible threads that weave affection into your relationship. It's these silent moves, the tender touches, the knowing looks, the gentle care that shift everything. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You just need to be present. And that presence, practiced daily through subtle acts of affection, becomes the strongest kind of love there is. Number 7, seeking respect for independence. Imagine for a moment what it really means to demonstrate kindness and respect. It's more than just polite words or fleeting gestures. It's a quiet, powerful language that speaks louder than anything said outright. Women, like anyone, deeply crave this kind of genuine acknowledgement. It's one of those hidden desires that often goes unspoken but shines clearly through actions. When you show kindness and respect, you're not just ticking a box, you're building a foundation of trust and safety, something essential in any connection. You might think kindness is simple, almost too easy to overlook. But the truth is, kindness is a daily practice, a choice you make over and over again. It's found in the little moments, listening when she speaks without distractions, valuing her opinions even if they differ from yours, or simply acknowledging her feelings without rushing to fix or judge. Respect flows hand in hand with kindness. It means honoring her boundaries, showing up when you say you will, and treating her presence as something precious rather than a given. Said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. That's exactly it. Don't get caught up in trying to guess what she wants or second-guess yourself. Instead, be the kind of person who naturally radiates respect and kindness without needing a spotlight or reward. When you consistently act this way, it transforms how she feels around you, safe, seen, and genuinely valued. But here, where it gets interesting, you can't fake this. If your kindness is a mask or respect feels forced, it won't connect deeply. You need to cultivate an internal mindset of empathy and patience. Think about kindness and respect as muscles that strengthen the more you use them. Challenge yourself to notice every opportunity you have to genuinely uplift someone, not just her, but everyone around you. It rewires your mind, making these qualities second nature. Here's a simple exercise you can try today. Next time you're in a conversation, pause before you respond. Instead of rushing to share your own story or opinion, focus entirely on her words. Let your body language show you're fully present. Eye contact, nodding, no interruptions. This small shift sends a powerful message. I see you. I respect what you're sharing. And it sets a rhythm for kindness that flows both ways. Kindness and respect don't mean losing your boundaries or being a pushover. On the contrary, true respect includes honoring your own values while appreciating hers. It's about balance, a quiet dance where both partners feel equal and appreciated. When you master this, you tap into a magnetic energy that pulls people closer, not because you're trying to impress, but because you're authentically valuable. You have within you the power to create this magnetic presence by simply being intentional about kindness and respect. Remember, Seneca said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." Let this be your mantra. Look around. Every interaction is your chance to practice this, to show up fully, and to build a connection that words alone can't capture. So if you want to truly understand this hidden desire women show through their actions, start here. Make kindness and respect your daily habit, your natural response, your quiet strength. Over time, you'll notice how these small, consistent moves shift the dynamic, build deeper trust, and unlock a connection that feels both powerful and effortless. It's not magic, it's mastery. And it starts with you right now. Now that you've uncovered these 7 hidden desires women rarely admit but reveal through their actions, you're one step closer to truly understanding the subtle language of attraction and connection. Remember, it's not always about what's said. Sometimes the deepest truths lie in what's shown. If this video opened your eyes or gave you that aha moment, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and comment your thoughts below. I'd love to hear which desire surprised you the most. And if you want more insights into relationships, human behavior, and decoding hidden signals, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out. Until next time, keep observing, keep connecting, and keep growing. See you in the next video. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Seneca. What if I told you that the secret to becoming truly magnetic isn't about looks, wealth, or charm, but something far deeper and more powerful? Imagine possessing an inner strength so compelling, people are naturally drawn to your presence, your words, and your energy. This magnetic pull doesn't come from superficial tricks. It's built from habits rooted in ancient Stoic wisdom, practiced daily by some of the greatest minds in history. In today's video, we're diving into 7 little habits that make any man magnetic. Simple, practical actions that will transform not just how others see you, but how you see yourself. These aren't just empty self-help tips. They're psychological tools shaped by Stoic philosophy that build confidence, resilience, and genuine attraction from the inside out. So stick around till the very end, because the last habit is a game changer that most people completely overlook. Ready to unlock your magnetic potential? Let's get started. Number 1, confidence without arrogance. If you want to become truly magnetic, it's time to rethink what confidence really means and how to carry it without tipping over into arrogance. Confidence without arrogance isn't just a fine line. It's a whole different mindset, and mastering it can change how people see you and, more importantly, how you see yourself. You know, the Stoics believed that he who is brave is free, Seneca. That bravery comes from within, from a steady understanding of your own worth, not from boasting or needing approval. When you embody this, you radiate a calm power that draws people in naturally, without you having to push or prove anything. So what's the difference between confidence and arrogance? Confidence is quiet, grounded, and steady. It's like a deep-rooted tree that doesn't need to shout to be noticed. It just is. Arrogance, on the other hand, is loud and unstable. It's a desperate attempt to mask insecurities, often by putting others down or exaggerating your own importance. You don't want that. What you want is that calm assurance that says, I know who I am, and I'm comfortable in my skin, without needing to parade it around like a trophy. Here's the thing, confidence is built, not born. It grows through how you treat yourself and the habits you cultivate daily. Start by observing your internal dialogue. Notice when you talk yourself down or feel the urge to overcompensate. Challenge those thoughts with a simple Stoic-inspired exercise. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Is it helpful? Reminded himself. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Apply this to yourself. When self-doubt creeps in, question it. When your ego tries to puff you up, check it. This creates a powerful habit of self-awareness, which is the foundation of genuine confidence. Next, practice embracing discomfort and uncertainty. Real confidence doesn't come from always being right or perfect. It comes from being okay with not having all the answers, with making mistakes, and with stepping into the unknown anyway. The Stoics called this the courage to face life's challenges head-on, knowing you control your response, not external events. So lean into those moments that make you nervous or uncertain instead of shrinking away. The more you do, the more you train your mind to trust itself. This trust feels magnetic because it's real, not fragile. Also, remember that confidence without arrogance means recognizing your value and respecting others. When you see the worth in yourself, you naturally see it in others too. This stops you from needing to prove your superiority, which is often the root of arrogance. Try this. Next time you're in a conversation, practice listening more than you speak. Let others share their thoughts without interrupting or trying to steer the spotlight back to you. This little habit shifts your energy from me to a place of calm presence and genuine interest. People pick up on that immediately. You become magnetic because you're not competing for attention. You're comfortably sharing space. Another practical step is to focus on your body language. Your posture, your eye contact, your breathing, all of these speak volumes before you say a word. Stand tall, keep your shoulders relaxed, and breathe deeply. This not only tells others you're confident but also sends a powerful message to your brain. It's a feedback loop. When your body acts confident, your mind catches up. Try a simple daily exercise. Every morning, spend a minute in front of the mirror, standing like you own the room. Because, in truth, you do own your own room, your own space in this world. Finally, commit to continuous growth, because confidence isn't a destination, it's a journey. The Stoics were lifelong students of themselves and the world. You can adopt that same mindset. Set small, consistent goals that push you just a little beyond your comfort zone. Celebrate the wins, learn from the setbacks, and keep moving forward. Each step you take is proof that you trust yourself to handle whatever comes your way. So start today. Quiet the inner noise that demands validation or perfection. Ground yourself in the simple truth that your worth isn't measured by how loud you are or how many people notice you. It's about how well you know yourself and how gracefully you move through life's ups and downs. That is the kind of confidence that's magnetic, steady, calm, and irresistibly strong. And that, my friend, is power. Number 2, emotional control and calmness. Imagine for a moment the kind of presence that turns heads without a single word, where your calm in the storm becomes a silent signal that you're in control, no matter what chaos swirls around you. That's the power of emotional control and calmness, and it's one of the most magnetic qualities you can cultivate as a man. This isn't about bottling up feelings or pretending everything's fine when it's not. No, it's about mastering yourself so thoroughly that your emotions serve you, not the other way around. Reminded us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. And it's this strength you want, because emotional control isn't just a skill, it's your shield, your secret weapon in every interaction and every challenge. You see, when you're calm, you're not just quiet on the surface, you're steady deep down. Others sense it. They feel safe, intrigued, even drawn to that energy. Your calmness says, I'm unshaken, I'm reliable. It's magnetic because it signals confidence without arrogance, resilience without aggression. But how do you get there? Start small. The next time irritation or frustration bubbles up, pause, take a deep breath. Feel the emotion fully, but don't let it pull you under. This moment of choice, between reacting and responding, is where you build your power. Practice this daily. When you face stress or conflict, don't rush to explode or retreat. Anchor yourself in your breath, remind yourself of the bigger picture, and ask, what is within my control here? The Stoics knew this well. They taught that external events are beyond your command, but your reaction, your inner fortress, is yours to govern. Cultivating this habit rewires your brain to respond with calm and clarity, not chaos. Incorporate simple rituals. Start your day with a few minutes of mindful breathing or journaling your thoughts. When emotions flare unexpectedly, acknowledge them silently without judgment. This isn't weakness, it's a powerful form of self-respect. Over time, you'll notice something remarkable. You'll feel less tossed by the winds of circumstance and more anchored in your own strength. And others, they'll notice too. They'll be drawn to that quiet confidence like a magnet because you're no longer a slave to your moods. You're the master of your emotional kingdom. Remember Seneca's wisdom. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. So stop imagining disaster, stop feeding the fire of anxiety or anger. Choose calm, choose control. This is not a one-time fix, it's a daily habit, a lifestyle. And with every small victory, you grow more magnetic, more grounded, more undeniably powerful. Your presence becomes a refuge in a restless world. And that, more than anything else, is what makes a man truly magnetic. Number 3, consistent self-improvement. Imagine waking up each day with a quiet determination that pushes you forward, not because someone else demands it, but because you've chosen it for yourself. Consistent self-improvement isn't about grand gestures or overnight transformations. It's about showing up, day after day, and doing a little better than you did yesterday. It's a simple yet powerful habit that separates those who drift through life from those who magnetically draw opportunities, respect, and genuine connection. You might wonder why this matters so much. Here's the truth. When you commit to growing bit by bit, you build a foundation that no external circumstance can shake. Said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Every challenge you face is an invitation, a chance to sharpen your mind, strengthen your character, and deepen your resilience. When you embrace this mindset, you stop waiting for the perfect moment or external validation. Instead, you create momentum from within. Think of it this way. Growth isn't a mountain to conquer overnight, but a path you walk, step by step. Some days that step is small, a few minutes spent reading, reflecting, or practicing patience. Other days, it might be a bold move to confront a fear or tackle a difficult conversation. The key is to stay consistent. Progress, no matter how slight, compounds. Like water wearing down stone, your efforts shape you over time into someone who naturally commands attention and respect. But how do you keep this going when motivation fades or life throws curveballs? Start by setting tiny, achievable goals that align with your values. Maybe it's journaling one thought each morning to clear your mind or dedicating 5 minutes to mindful breathing to center yourself. These small rituals anchor you in self-awareness, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Seneca reminded us, if one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. Clarity about your direction fuels consistent effort. Another powerful tool is reflection. Before bed, ask yourself, what did I do today that moved me closer to the man I want to be? What moments tested me? How did I respond? This isn't about judgment, it's about honest awareness and gentle course correction. Over time, this practice builds emotional intelligence, patience, and self-control, the magnetic qualities that draw people in without force or pretense. And don't forget, self-improvement is not a race. It's a lifelong commitment. Even the greatest Stoics embraced imperfection and saw setbacks as part of the journey. When you stumble, treat it as feedback, not failure. Rise again with curiosity and courage. As Epictetus said, no great thing is created suddenly. Your consistent actions, grounded in purpose, are the seeds of transformation. So start now. Choose one small habit, reading a page, practicing gratitude, reflecting on your emotions, and do it every day. Notice how these seemingly tiny choices reshape your energy, your confidence, and how you carry yourself. Before you know it, you'll find yourself standing taller, speaking with calm assurance, and attracting the respect and connection you deserve. Consistent self-improvement isn't just a habit, it's your quiet power, your invisible magnet. Embrace it and watch how your world begins to shift. Number 4, clear and purposeful communication. Clear and purposeful communication is one of those subtle habits that can instantly boost your magnetic presence. When you speak with clarity, people don't just hear your words, they feel your confidence and intent behind them. Think about it. The way you communicate shapes how others perceive you, and it's a direct reflection of your inner world. If your thoughts are scattered or your words stumble, that confusion seeps out and diminishes your impact. But when you choose your words carefully and express yourself with purpose, you become someone people want to listen to, follow, and respect. The Stoics teach us that our words are powerful tools, and it's not just about talking more, it's about saying what matters. Reminds us to be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. Your communication should be like that, steady, composed, and unwavering. When you speak, let your words carry weight because they come from a mind that's grounded and intentional. Here's the key. Before you speak, pause, take a moment to gather your thoughts. Ask yourself, what do I really want to convey here? Why does this matter? This simple habit can transform your conversations from chaotic noise to meaningful exchanges. Practice this by setting small challenges for yourself. Whether it's in meetings, casual chats, or texts, focus on delivering your message with precision and calm. Notice how others respond. When you make this a habit, your presence grows magnetic because people sense your authenticity and respect your ability to communicate clearly. Purposeful communication also means being an active listener. It's a two-way street. When you truly listen, you gain insight, and your responses become more aligned and impactful. The Stoics believed in understanding before reacting, and this mindset changes everything. Instead of reacting impulsively, slow down, absorb what's being said, and then respond thoughtfully. This will not only build trust but also make your words more meaningful. Try this exercise. Before your next conversation, set an intention to speak with clarity. Keep your sentences short and to the point. Resist the urge to fill silences with unnecessary words. Silence, after all, is a powerful tool. It commands attention and gives your words room to breathe. When you speak less but mean more, you naturally become magnetic. Remember, clear and purposeful communication isn't about perfection or rehearsed speeches. It's about aligning your inner calm with your outward expression. As Seneca said, to be everywhere is to be nowhere. Be present in your words and watch how your influence expands. Your communication is the bridge between your thoughts and the world. Make it strong, direct, and intentional. Start today. Make the choice to speak with purpose and watch how it shifts your relationships, your confidence, and your magnetic presence. You hold that power already. Now it's time to let it shine through your words. Number 5, authenticity and honesty. You know, there's something quietly magnetic about a man who lives with authenticity and honesty. It's not flashy or loud, but it draws people in because it's real, unfiltered, and unapologetic. The Stoics understood this deeply. Said, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. This isn't just old wisdom. It's a direct invitation for you to embody a power that's rooted in truth. When you're authentic, you stop playing roles or hiding behind masks, and suddenly your presence becomes undeniable. People sense that energy. They feel your integrity even before you speak. Now, being honest with yourself and others isn't always easy. It requires courage, the kind of courage that doesn't roar but stands steady. When you tell the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, you're building a foundation of trust that no charm or gimmick can match. Here's the thing. The world throws countless distractions at you, tempting you to conform or soften your edges. But the moment you lean into honesty, you claim a kind of freedom few ever find. It's the freedom to be fully you without apology, and that freedom shines like a beacon. Try this. Next time you're tempted to say something just to please or avoid conflict, pause. Ask yourself, is this true? Is this right? Let that be your compass. It's a small habit, but a profound one. Over time, you'll notice how your relationships shift. People start respecting you more because they know where you stand and they feel safe around you. You don't need to convince or manipulate. Your straightforwardness does the work. This kind of authenticity doesn't just make you magnetic to others, it grounds you. When you are honest about your strengths and weaknesses, you stop pretending and start growing. You stop chasing external validation and begin cultivating internal peace. That's the core of Stoic psychology, being aligned with reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. Remember Epictetus's teaching. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Authenticity is your foundation for that, what you would be. So take a moment every day to reflect on your words and actions. Are they truly yours? Are you living in accordance with your values, or are you bending to fit in? Challenge yourself to answer honestly. Make it a practice to speak your truth gently but firmly. This isn't about harshness or bluntness, it's about clarity and integrity. When you do this consistently, you build a magnetic presence rooted in real strength. You don't need to be loud or dramatic to command attention. Sometimes the quiet honesty of a man who's comfortable in his skin speaks louder than any grand gesture. When you show up as your authentic self, you invite others to do the same. That ripple effect creates a connection that's deep and lasting. So embrace this habit, not just as a strategy to be magnetic, but as a way to live fully and freely. Because when you are honest and authentic, you aren't just attractive, you're unstoppable. Number 6, maintaining physical presence and posture. There's something incredibly magnetic about a man who carries himself with a quiet, confident presence. It's not about being flashy or loud. It's the way you hold your body, the way your posture communicates calm authority without a single word spoken. The ancient Stoics understood this deeply. Once said, "Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look." That strength starts with the simple, yet profound act of maintaining your physical presence. When you stand tall, with your shoulders relaxed but not slouched, chest open but not puffed up, you are literally aligning yourself with power. You're telling the world, and more importantly, yourself, that you belong here, that you are steady and grounded no matter what life throws at you. This isn't just about aesthetics or vanity. Your posture shapes how you feel and how others perceive you. Try this. Stand in front of a mirror, feet shoulder-width apart, chest lifted slightly, chin parallel to the ground. Breathe deeply. Notice how your energy shifts. There's an almost immediate sense of calm confidence that follows. This is no accident. The Stoics taught that your body and mind are inseparable. By controlling your physical presence, you influence your mental state. When you feel solid and balanced, your thoughts clear up, your emotions settle, and your confidence grows naturally. But maintaining physical presence is more than just standing or sitting with good posture. It's about moving with intention. When you walk into a room, don't shuffle or rush. Instead, move deliberately with purpose. Slow your pace, ground your steps, and feel each movement as an extension of your inner strength. This not only commands respect but also anchors you in the present moment. It's a way of telling yourself, "I am here, fully aware and in control." That awareness ripples outward, affecting how others respond to you. Power doesn't always roar. It often whispers through subtle, quiet gestures that say, "I'm steady, I'm reliable, I'm unshakable." Now here's the practical part. Start with small habits. Every time you catch yourself slouching or collapsing into your chair, gently correct your posture. Pull your shoulders back, lift your chest, and breathe. Repeat this throughout the day until it becomes second nature. Practice walking with intention, feeling the ground beneath your feet, letting your steps be calm and measured. Over time, these little physical adjustments will translate into a magnetic presence that others can't ignore. Remember, the Stoics didn't believe in forcing things artificially. It's not about pretending to be something you're not. Instead, it's about discovering and nurturing your true strength, steady, calm, and real. Your physical presence is a foundation for that. As Epictetus reminded us, no man is free who is not master of himself. Mastering how you carry your body is one of the simplest, most effective ways to master yourself. So start now. Stand up, straighten your spine, breathe deeply. Feel your power grow, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because you are honoring the strength that already lives inside you. This is how you become magnetic, not through force or noise, but through quiet confidence rooted in every fiber of your being. And that kind of power, it's impossible to resist. Number 7, demonstrating kindness and respect. When it comes to being magnetic, kindness and respect aren't just nice extras, they're foundational. You might think being magnetic is about charm or confidence, but the truth runs deeper. The way you treat others, how you show up with genuine kindness and unshakable respect, quietly broadcasts your strength and character far louder than any flashy gesture. Imagine kindness not as a weakness or something soft, but as an unbreakable backbone. Reminded us that the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. What he's really saying is this: when you respond with kindness and respect, you rise above the chaos, you reclaim your center. That's magnetic. People sense it. They feel it. You see, kindness and respect aren't about grand declarations or putting others on a pedestal. It's about the small, consistent ways you honor people's presence, their ideas, their time. It's in the way you listen without waiting to speak, how you respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively, and how you maintain calmness even when tested. These habits create a magnetic field that draws people in, not because you're trying to impress them, but because you are genuinely grounded and aware. You're not giving your power away by being kind. You're showing you have plenty to give. You embody what Seneca taught. Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. Here, where you need to lean in, kindness and respect are actions you choose moment by moment. It's a muscle you build, not a trait you're born with. Start small. Catch yourself in moments when impatience or judgment bubbles up. Then, consciously decide to respond differently. Next time someone interrupts you, resist the urge to snap back. Instead, take a breath and respond with calm respect. When a situation feels unfair or frustrating, remind yourself that kindness doesn't mean accepting wrong behavior. It means choosing how you rise above it without losing your composure. Try this exercise. At the end of your day, reflect on one interaction where you showed kindness and respect, even in a subtle way. Maybe you offered a genuine compliment or gave someone your full attention. Write it down. Notice how it made you feel. Build on that feeling. Over time, it becomes a habit that shifts your internal energy and how others perceive you. Your presence becomes magnetic not because you say the right things, but because you live by this quiet strength. Remember, the Stoics believed that true power lies within, in mastering your responses rather than trying to control others. Kindness and respect are powerful tools in your toolkit. They don't just improve your relationships, they transform your entire outlook. So don't underestimate these little habits. They create ripples that extend far beyond what you see in the moment. Make kindness your silent strength. Make respect your default mode. This is how you become magnetic, not by forcing it, but by simply being the man who stands firm, steady, and unshakably kind in a world that often forgets the value of both. Keep practicing, and watch the quiet power of your presence grow every day. Thanks for watching. If you found these 7 habits powerful, imagine what embracing them consistently could do for your life and presence. Remember, true magnetism isn't about flashy gestures. It's about quiet confidence, grounded mindset, and daily discipline. Start small, stay steady, and watch how you naturally draw people toward your energy. If you're ready to level up your mindset and become the man who commands respect and admiration effortlessly, hit that like button, subscribe for more insights, and drop a comment below. Which habit are you committing to first? Until next time, stay grounded, stay magnetic.